For Feeding Tube Awareness Week, I wanted to show people how the MIC-KEY low profile gastric tube that I have works. I've had it for a few years, and I've learned that a lot of medical professionals don't know what it is. They definitely don't know how it works. So you really need to know how it works yourself. So first off, this is the box it comes in. You can see it's the MIC-KEY, blah blah blah, there's the brand name. This is the size. And then here's a picture of what it looks like. So this is the part that's going to be above skin, and this is the part that's going to be below skin. So in that box comes two different instruction packets. This is the one I really recommend reading from start to finish. This one is just kind of, boring. So then, with the tube comes two different size syringes. This is the one that you'll use to fill the balloon. This is the one This is the one you will use to flush the tube. So this is the one that will go into your stomach. This one will not. They come unfilled. You just fill them with water or saline. It doesn't really matter. If you're comfortable drinking it, then it can probably go in your tube. So then we have these extensions that come. This is the end that would be hooked into the tube. This is the end that you hook a syringe into. This one has two different sizes. This one has a big size. They both have clamps. This one with the straight edge, I recommend for things like if you're having an MRI and you're going to be putting barium through your tube, use this one. It's more uncomfortable, but it's thicker, and so it's not going to get clogged as easily. This is the one I use for every day. I use it for most medications that are liquid and go through the tube. I use it for the regular feeds, I use it for bolus feeds, and I use it for flushing my tube. So really, this is the main one. Okay, and then this is what the tube looks like when it comes. Like I said, this is the part that's going to be above skin, and this is all going to be below skin. So this is what this part looks like that's above skin. It has the little flap. This is where you would hook in either your flat edge, which I'll demonstrate with. It has the lines, so you line them up, and then it clicks, and you move this part. It only lets you move one way, and then it's locked into place so that it won't come loose and make a mess everywhere, which is definitely a possibility. So then, just for the sake of, clarity, this same thing, it has the lines, which if I can get it, and then you lock it into place. But this one sticks straight out, so if you're going to be sleeping, I really don't recommend it. So now, you would use more water than this to fill the balloon. It says so, and it says how much you need in the packet. So when you get the box, it's closed, it's sealed, it's all sterile. It comes in this package, which I opened. It has everything nicely set up. So that's what you take if you're going to have if you're making an appointment to have it changed. You take the whole box unopened, and then they know what to do with it. If you're changing it yourself, be prepared. It might be messy. I recommend gloves, definitely. It's not a sterile procedure, technically, because your stomach is not a sterile area. If you were, say, going into your bladder is sterile, and it would need to be an inpatient procedure. So, this is where you attach the syringe, and it fills up the saline balloon. This one goes straight through and out the bottom and into your stomach so that it can feed. So, make sure that's on there well. And push that. So that kind of gives you an idea. This is what's holding it in place. Just a little ball full of saline. It kind of feels like a bouncy ball, but maybe kind of like a bouncy ball stress ball mix. So I'm just going to let that empty. That's all it takes, if you're changing the tube, you already have one in your stomach, you connect an empty syringe. You're going to need 2 syringes. You connect an empty syringe and you suction out all the water that's in there, and then you take out the tube, you put in the new one, and then you take the other syringe, connect it to the new tube, and suction in all the water. So then, if you were to flush the tube, this, and that's hooked up, and I have an empty, oh, it's not empty, well, I have a bottle here to demonstrate. So, you can use these ones too, because they're, with the smaller one, there's a slot for it. Actually, I don't think there's enough water to fully go through the tube, so I'll demonstrate with the big one. So, have it hooked up like this. I'm going to unclamp it, going through the tube, and let's see if I can do this all one-handed. So, let's see if I can, holding the bottle here, and see if you can even see. Well, of course it's going to make a mess. Forgot to do the other side. So that's what happens if you don't clip the other side. It gets everywhere. It's just water. So as you can see, it just goes straight out the bottom. And that is the basics of the tube and how it works. But that's not all, folks. Figured I would show you what it looks like once it's placed. So I have gauze around it because it does leak. Tuck that in. Alright, so taking off the gauze, step back so you can see it. So, like I said, here's the part you can see. Here's what it looks like from the side. You can twirl it around, moves freely. Sometimes you'll get granulations because there's constantly something rubbing against your skin.